Hey guys, Kathy here again with the Clef-er Musicians. The questions that Getty asked this week are what are your influences for getting into music in general, and also what are your influences for getting into the genre that you play right now? So in my first video that I posted, I talked a lot about why I got into music in the first place when I was talking about musical identity and how your background shapes who you are now and all that. So I talked about, my family, how most of them aren't musical, and I just sort of got into music on my own. It was just something that I really enjoyed. I liked the sound of it. I don't know. Started playing viola just because I thought it was cool and different. I decided on my own that I wanted to take private lessons and do auditions for community youth orchestras and different orchestra festivals and all that. So it wasn't really anybody who told me, you should really play viola or be an orchestra, it might be really fun or cool. And it wasn't like I heard a violist play when I was young and was like, wow, I really want to play like them. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was just something that I was innately into. My main influences for making music, something that I want to turn into a career though, as I also mentioned in that first video, would be my private viola teacher and my public school orchestra teacher. They were definitely among my best friends in my high school years, and if anything was ever wrong, even with my personal life, not just playing viola, I knew I could always go to them for anything and they would always be there for me. So I knew that I wanted to be that for my students when I become a teacher one day. And it was sort of like finding my purpose in life, and that was something I talked a lot about in a music identity project we had to do for this class. So I might add a little MP3 down in the description of my project so you can hear more about them. There's a story I do have to tell about my high school orchestra teacher, which is in this MP3 music identity project thing that I had to record, so I'm going to attach that. You best to listen, because it's an awesome story. It's a tearjerker. But it's the story that really made me sure, after I had applied to colleges, that music was what I was going to make my life, and that I was choosing the right major and choosing the right career path to go down, and it was the one thing that I was most passionate about. I also want to say that it's not only all the wonderful experiences and ensembles and playing chamber music and when music just sounds perfect when you're in the moment and you're just like, wow, but it's also the bad experiences. I was once in this summer chamber music festival, and I had a coach who was this old Russian lady, and she was absolutely insane. She made her kids feel absolutely horrible. I remember the first day that I met her, I had to play for her individually, and she would deem if I was worthy of being in her program. And she made me cry the first day, but she did accept me, and she made me cry several times during the first few rehearsals because she was just very insulting and made you feel very, very inferior. So it's not only the good experiences, it's also the bad experiences that show you, what you don't want to be. And I knew that I wanted to be a teacher, but she was a model of somebody that I didn't want to be to students. I wanted to be supportive, and I wanted to be kids' friends, not make them feel small. As far as the second question, why do I play the genre that I do now, or what influenced me to do that? Well, I'm a classical violist, and honestly, I never really knew that you could play other genres on the viola. Growing up playing the instrument, I always was taught just classical music, and I thought that was all there was to it. And, playing in orchestras and quartets and quintets and little ensembles and things like that. So that's pretty much why I play classical. But when I came to college, I actually met a jazz violist, and my world was just flipped upside down because I was like, what? You can play jazz on the viola, and it was the coolest thing in the world hearing her play. So, Yes, I play classical, but one of my goals while I'm here in college is to delve into different genres like bluegrass and jazz on the viola because it's just something very different, not something that you hear often. So I think it'd be lots of fun to try and play in different genres, not just classical music, and see, you know, see how much I can really do with my instrument.